Welcome back to Cowboy Golf, and today I have a club review that's been a long time waiting. Like, I've had these clubs for a long time. I recently regripped them into the Jumbo Maxes. I have not done a review on these particular clubs. I just, I've been doing a lot more playing. I've gone in that single length route. So I haven't done the review that this club requires. Now, what is different about these clubs? Well, obviously they're hybrids, right? So this is an entire set of hybrids, 1 through gap wedge, and they're from Lazrus. So these are the first edition Lazrus hybrids. And take a look at the head cover. The head cover is really nice, guys. I really like these head covers. Man, they're super nice. And then you can customize which number. I think in this case it goes 1 through 6 or 1 through 5 on this dial. I think it's 1 through 6 on this dial. You just use the dial here to rotate. So I could rotate to a different number to signify the correct club. So it's kind of a universal head cover. So let's talk about the clubs in general. So right now I have a 5 iron or a 5 hybrid in my hands, 24 degrees. These things will launch the ball. If you are older or you just want more distance, I cannot recommend getting hybrids, especially these hybrids, enough. These I have in a stiff flex shaft. Actually, this one says regular flex. That's interesting. So maybe because it's a 5, because my 9 here is in stiff flex. This is in regular flex. That is interesting, guys. Something I did not notice until just now when I was doing this video. Something I may need to reach out to Lazrus about. I have been bombing this 5 a long ways. We're talking like 190, 200 yards in the air carry. 24 degree, guys. And I've been hitting it like 200. I'm not the longest hitter, but I should be in a stiff flex. But man, I'm bombing these things. So now watch me not be able to hit a ball. It's definitely not 200 yards. I have been hitting balls all morning, so my muscles have probably topped out. Let's try one more here. We'll try to get a little more weight forward. And I chunked it. Trying too hard, right? I mean, look at the launch angle on that thing. It's just up, up, up. So that one's probably 185, 190. I mean, these clubs are really cool. Now, one of the things I really love about these clubs, so you get the 5, which, that's the iron or the hybrid. You get the degrees down here as well. And of course, you get the logos and stuff. Beautiful. Okay, it's not beautiful looking hybrid. I'll go out and say that the women's hybrid looks better, and the Laz1 Hybrids, which I don't have yet, also look better. But these are kind of cool looking. The shaft has the Lazrus colors in it. They come with a different kind of grip, Lazrus branded grip, like just a normal rubber grip. Not a big fan of those. I was bombing the 2 iron or the 2 hybrid with that grip about 224. With the Jumbo Maxes, I'm not getting as much speed, probably because they don't encourage the wrist rotation, that little extra snap that's going to get you the extra yardage. So keep that in mind if you go with Jumbo Max. It kind of takes more of the wrist movement out of your swing. If you have plenty of power, you won't need that. But, those clubs that get a little longer, that you need to have that little extra range, you may want to stick with a smaller grip so you get a little more wrist rotation. Kind of what I've learned along my journey. So let's take a look at a couple other clubs here and see how they perform. I'm gonna go to the gap wedge next, which is the smallest club in the bag for this set. Now, also, I want you guys to look. They are progressive in their lengths, right? So this is the gap wedge, this is the 5. You know, just like a standard set of clubs, they are a little longer than your standard set of clubs because they're hybrids. They have that wood shaft. Now, this is the gap wedge. It's 49 degrees. I want you guys to look at the loft on this thing. Okay, so you can definitely tell that there is some loft there. I have another set of hybrids, not the women's Lazrus hybrids. I'm not talking about those. I've already done a review on those. And at the time, I didn't enjoy hitting them. I plan on breaking those out again for you guys so we can see how I've progressed as far as hitting those. I do have a single length set of hybrids from Pinhawk that I plan on reviewing for you guys. But sadly, they're in a regular flex, so I don't know what's going to happen when I do that one. But that set comes from sand wedge all the way up to 3. So a little bit more, and it's like 8 iron length, so it's a little bit less on the length. All right, gap wedge. Look at that draw. Now, the problem I have personally with the gap wedge here, which again is a stiff flex, is the distance. So this thing flies way further than my normal gap wedges. I have hit this thing as far as 160 in the air. Normally, I'm hitting this particular club 140, 145. My normal gap wedge ranges anywhere from 105 to 115, I would say, maybe 120 on a warm day. I mean, look at that. Look at the height on that. The flight, I mean, that's, you know, let me put it to you this way. I like standard, or I like single length clubs. The problem I normally have with single length clubs is when I get to that 5 and 4 iron, sometimes there's a gapping issue, a larger gapping issue. And I can't hit my woods very well. I don't hit 3 woods and 5 woods all that well. So I'm thinking, okay, let's go with hybrids in the upper part of the bag. That's fine. If you're hitting them the correct distances, you have to dial in the distances. A set like this will give me a little bit more distance in the long range and the long end if I make sure I have the right grips on there. But it's really long in the shorter irons. I would have to have probably another pitching wedge, like an iron, a gap wedge, sand wedge, to fill out the set. And yeah, I would not carry the 1 iron. The 1 iron is a 12 degree. It's not going to give me the distance I want with it. But the 2 iron, I'd be tempted to carry. I would make sure that I had the grip smaller so I could roll the wrist so I get the longer distance. But yeah, these hybrids are a lot of fun to hit. You usually get plenty of launch. Let's go with the pitching wedge. So we're going to kind of go through the set here for you guys. 45 degree on the pitching wedge. Again, you see that lofting here. So let's give it a launch here and see how it performs. I'm going to aim for that white box out there. And I chunked it. So I've been working on my pre-shot routine. I know it's taking a long time to hit this ball. All right. Part of that is I'm I'm thinking way too much here. All right, so I took it a little bit right of that white box, but the distance is about correct. So like that's what I'm hitting it that far. Let me tell you, in some of my single length sets, that's a 8 iron or a 7 iron. But when you chunk it, okay, some of you guys are probably wondering why I haven't posted videos lately. My left eye, I lost a lot of weight last year, about 55, 60 pounds. My left eye has developed some fluid underneath it, and this is causing everything to look further away with the left eye and warped. So there's no straight lines, at least in the middle of my vision. You can imagine how the depth perception might mess with your golf game. When I posted my last video, darn near 2 months ago, my game was in a really good spot. I noticed a couple weeks after that video that things had changed. My game had definitely changed. I was not seeing as well. Couldn't see anything out past that box. And of course I carried that one off the toe a little bit. Couldn't see anything out past that box. And so I had to seek some, a doctor to find out what was going on. Just a beautiful ball flight on that. So how far is the white box? And that one actually went further. So let me ping that for you guys. I don't think I'll be able to get it in the video, but at least tell you. So from here, we're going to use our Garmin rangefinder. So the shots are going about 150 with a pitch and wedge. Not bad. I have a single length pitch and wedge over here, and I'll be doing a review on these as well. But let's see the difference. Smaller grip on these. I haven't hit this club, so I don't even, in a while anyways. Let me see if we can get to the white boxes. Stiff flex. A little shorter than I want. I chunked it a little bit. All right. Need to get forward a little more. And another chunk. You guys need to see that everybody chunks it. Swing is a constant battle. Yeah, I'm very chunky, and that's been the issue since the eye got bad. I've been chunking a lot. So I'm gonna see if I can tilt a little bit more, and maybe I can prevent that. I need a good shot here to compare. There we go. That's a little bit left though. So I'm guessing that one went maybe 130 with this club. So again, you compare that to the other pitch and wedge, there's 20 yards difference. All right, let's keep going through here. Now let's just do a 6 because it's just what I pulled out. It is a 27 degree. So normally with my 6 iron, I'm going anywhere between 160, 170, normally. Look at that thing, dead straight towards the orange boxes. Past the orange box. All right, let's see what the orange box is in the rangefinder. All right, orange box. Of 173, 171, somewhere. It's closer to 170 from where I was hitting it from. So I just hit the 6-iron 170, which is what I would really expect from my 6, or there, give or take. I mean, 160 to 170. Now, the problem I had was at the top, more of the top end of the bag here. So I'm going to take the 8-iron out, which is a 36. Oh, man, whoever re-gripped these, I'm not going to name names. Not a good job, but hey, whatever. 36 degree, and we're gonna see where we launch this one at. If it goes to the orange box like the previous one did, which would mean there's no gapping between my 6 and my 8. And these are all range balls too, so keep that in mind. Well, it helps when you top it. Which is another thing. How forgiving feeling was that? I didn't even feel it. Like, topping it was no problem for me here. All right. Oh, I pulled that one hard. So, just noticed something I was doing wrong in my swing. I'm not locking out my arms like I normally do. So I normally want to lock my arms out here. I'm not going to do a lot of wrist hinge, that sort of thing. So let's see if we can get one down range again here. Slight draw. Not to the orange boxes. So the gapping is good. I can't complain about the gapping so far. I did not pull the 1, 2, 3 out. I don't even think I brought the 4 because my 5 can go nearly as far as the 4, but even on this course, I won't need the 4. But we'll end it with the 5 one more time here. I do have the whole set. I need to get the one looked at because, again, whoever regripped them didn't even put tape on the one, and I almost destroyed my club. So we're gonna go back to the 5. One last look at the Lazrus Hybrids. These are the Laz1 Hybrids. You can get them on their website. Use my affiliate link below. That'll help me out a lot. I'll show you how these things perform on the course. It's a low stinger. It'll roll past the orange box. It didn't quite get to them. So guys, let me know what you think. Lazrus Hybrids, Cowboy Golf. We'll see you guys out on the links.